Star Report. I'm your host, Star, on a Friday night. Okay. A lot of folks like to get silly on a Friday, and I'm going to be one of those people this evening, sipping wine and talking about Airbnb fails to protect its guests from hidden cameras. This is voyeurism. That's the old term, and this used to be a clinical disorder. CNN, which I don't really watch, but they did a special. And over the last decade, 35,000 reports of voyeurism from people who, utilize Airbnbs across the nation, concerned about their images being recorded. And Airbnb, the website that I've never used, when you click and you accept the terms of service, you are releasing them from any and all wrongdoings. So suing Airbnb is really difficult, this report says, and in the video, which I'm going to post in my community section after the show, it's hard to sue them because just like when you download an app or you get a brand new fly-ass, phone, many people just, they click and accept the terms of service, not really reading, not knowing what they're accepting, and whammo, they got you. So the multiple lawsuits that have come in usually get thrown out with regards to Airbnb. However, landlords across the nation, I don't know. I've never used an Airbnb. I know people say, "Oh yeah, it's a new thing." I'm sure. I'm still one of those people who I got to go to a hotel or motel. I feel better if I have to sue you, knowing that the hotel chain or motel, that more than likely they have insurance to pay out faster if there's an issue. I can even dispute things faster and better, if it's a corporation. But the term voyeurism it's kicking up a lot of concern across the nation. So it's Friday, and I want to discuss this, and I want to ask you guys: do you mind being in an Airbnb for whatever reason, and under the assumption that you're being monitored? Some people don't think it's a big deal. The newer generation, I get it. But for people who, we like privacy. I'm not hiding anything, but, I don't want you looking at me sitting there eating a Snickers bar, massaging your scrotum just because I'm walking into the goddamn bathroom. That's weirdo shit. Weirdo shit. Hey, also, I'm going to be a little loose on the restrictions, I should say, on the language tonight. It's Friday, okay? Cheers early. Now, in case you don't know, I was a landlord for well over 20 years in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. I owned, operated, and built from the ground up a trailer park community. I sold it in 2017. And I used to have cameras with regards to the property, people coming in and exiting and stuff like that. It wasn't a trailer park community where you had a security code. No. Most of my tenants, clientele, if you will, they were Section 8, the disenfranchised. And no, so there was a certain expectancy of things that you just, fighting, shooting, if you will. All white people get to shooting out there in the goddamn rural areas. Yes, they do. So there was a certain expectancy, and I didn't want to always have to deal with, law enforcement, coming to me for the video footage. It wasn't a requirement, when I had the trailer park community. Some of you may have to deal with, different code enforcements now. Requirements, state regulations where you have to have certain cameras in certain areas, whether it be the parking, garage, stuff like that. But all that's behind me now. I may tell you about a few things that I've experienced by way of being a landlord / slumlord. just you're not looking to be in everybody's goddamn business. If somebody gets into a brawl on a Friday night and they punch a hole in the goddamn wall inside the double wide, you go look at it and you say, okay, well, I'll take care of that. Are you going to put in some brand new studs and some sheetrock? No, you're going to get an old piece of plywood from fucking 12 years ago. Put that in with some Japanese nails and say, hey, there you go. Fight if you must next weekend. It's all good. But things are different now. So my question to you guys, is it okay? Is it okay that you're being monitored, filmed? Here's what I don't know. I don't know this. Do you, aside from the Airbnb on their website, clicking and accepting the terms of service, do the landlords have you accept some type of service as well? Good evening, troll babies. How you guys doing? How you doing? Do you accept any types of terms of service with landlords when you are renting their Airbnbs? Okay. All right. Also, I have a question, but I'm not going to put it on the screen because, we don't like to do, YouTube doesn't like people doing conspiracy videos. But most people know I'm a sci-fi reader, a lover of film, going back to the 70s. And is President Joe Biden a hologram or a synthetic life form? Hear me out before you laugh. One of my favorite writers, Philip K. Dick, he wrote about this scenario decades ago. You guys know who Philip K. Dick is? Some of you do. Is President Joe Biden a hologram or a synthetic life form? This is not far-fetched. A lot of your scientists and engineers, they look to, the great science fiction writers, especially going back to the golden era of science fiction, for ideas and the possibilities yet to come. President Ronald Reagan, that was my guy. I got money during his 2 administrations. During the last 2 years of his administration, if not more, you didn't see him too much. He lost his mind. He had dementia and some other things. And his wife was pretty much his mouthpiece. And Congress ran the country. So here we are now. And Congress runs the country still, in case you don't know. The president is just the chump in the front. Okay? He's the puppet. And the president is selected, not elected. So is President Joe Biden a hologram? This could be a new rollout of sorts. Because, if you think about it, we do have the technology to have artists on stage, right? Years ago, they were talking about bringing out a Tupac hologram. So that technology is there already. And we're at what some would think is the beginning stages of AI. But they're already 10 years down the road. The public doesn't necessarily know that, but the engineers, the people who are special interest groups and other things, they know what's already at their fingertips. We already have the capabilities, in case you don't know, of an artist who may not want to do a 50-city tour. Just don't have the energy. It's not cost effective. However, that artist can be on stage live in the flesh in Dallas, Texas, and the hologram would be on stage in Atlanta, Seattle, New York, and Chicago. Are you with me, troll babies? Are you with me? So not only would that be cost effective, but think about it. You can't run up on the stage and touch the artist anyway. So what's the big deal? You pay your tickets, you go to the arena in those places I just mentioned, Chicago, Seattle, New York City, and some other place. But the actual artist in the flesh is on stage in Dallas, Texas. So I ask you, is President Joe Biden a hologram? Because the glitches where he's saying things, it just, some think it's sad. Some of us are laughing, but at the same time, it could be technology that they're trying to, really just get working properly, shall we say, right? Also, guys, Captain America, Brave New World teaser. I watched that teaser. I need someone to educate me, please. Number 9, I sent you a text message. He did not respond. Number 9, a.k.a. Gene Richmond, is my MCU and DC Comics expert. Guys, is the new Captain America, where are my notes? I try to keep up as much as I can. Is the new Captain America black and gay, or is he just black? Uh-oh, there he is. There he is. Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg. Good to see you, man.
Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg. I am here, Star.
Yeah, good to see you. You got your swag is it's on 10 tonight, man. What's cracking? Let's talk about your swag first.
Let me just keep it a buck. Yesterday I got the haircut and the trim because I've been wolfed out for the last 4 months ever since I got gout. Okay. I did not get a haircut until I reached under 320 pounds. Okay. That was my goal. I was 364. Now I'm a whopping 312. So nice. Boom. After I hit the 312, I said, you know what? Let me trim up. Let me show the world how big Elvis can do it. And I did it on purpose, Elvis, Star. On purpose. I purposefully brought down the sexy until I can really legitimately do it. Let me lower this right here.
How did you? No, your audio is fine. Keep it right there. How did you get your weight down within whatever period of time that you did? How'd you get the weight down?
I only eat baked chicken right now. I'm only eating baked chicken, and I'm doing the cherries because the cherries are good for the gout. So I'm off of sugar. No more energy drinks. No more sodas. No more juices. Off the sugar. I mean, occasionally, don't get me wrong, I have ran and got one of the little cups of the Haagen-Dazs ice cream. I'm in the car before I get in the door. I've done that a few times. I'm only a person. It's only so much I can do. But I'm really, really pleased with myself. So I went and spent the money and got them to trim me all up and show the beauty in a different way, which, I was over the wolfed out look. 4 to 6 months wolfed out, Star. No
glad
trim,
to have
no
you aboard. Glad to have you aboard. I don't really know if I have any premium black news tonight, but Captain America, Brave New World teaser, Airbnb fails to protect its guests, or is President Joe Biden a hologram? Where do you want to start?
Let's go with the president. Let's talk about the president, and let's talk about what you said as a hologram, because they did it with Tupac. He was able to do a whole entire show, and this was 15 years ago. Right now, you go to what's that called over there on the Vegas? They got this thing called the Sphere. The Sphere is this big ball, and it's these holograms that people are walking out of this place needing therapy because it was so real that they look at the regular world as so mundane. So we have to recognize that this technology is here, Star.
Oh yeah.
In China, in their stadiums in China, they have dragons that go up and down and over onto the crowd of people, and they cannot tell that is not real. It looks like there's a dragon flying around the stadiums. It looks 100% real.
I'm listening. Come on.
All right. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about the future. The future is VR headsets. That's the future. The future is VR headsets. So this technology is available now on a small scale where you can put them on your face and have that as your reality. So to say that Joe Biden is possibly some sort of hologram is not far-fetched. It's really, really real out here. And if they wanted to, they can have him looking old and decrepit and doing all these things because of the placement of the next guy up. You taught us 10 years ago that Congress was running the show and that these
Most people know that. You know that.
no,
I
no,
didn't
no,
teach you. You
no,
know that.
Star. No, Star. You are a teacher. We are enlightened and somewhat entertained. Let's not
Okay.
play that game.
All right. All right.
So you have schooled the masses. All right, because you don't pretend to be younger than you are. You don't
Okay.
pretend to know everything, and that's alluring in itself. So many people out there swear they got the answer. You don't have the answer. You keep bringing up the questions. Are some of the questions outside of the box so crazy no one would ever ask? Absolutely,
Can
and
I
that's
jump
why
in?
I'm here.
Can I jump in?
Please.
In reality, VR headsets are old now. That's 7 or 8 years ago, if not
Right.
more, maybe even a decade more. Chips inside your head, right behind your goddamn corneas. That's the future.
Right.
You won't need to put on a headset and put the little stuff on your fingers and all that sort of jazz. John Blaze, are you out there? John Blaze, you want to tap in? This is his world as well. But I hear what you're saying. But let's do a little conspiracy thing here. Do you think there's a possibility, not that you have to agree with me, and if so, that President Biden is a hologram? What would the benefit be to Congress, corporations, if you will?
The huge benefit is that a person doesn't have to be there to push an agenda. You can just type up what you want that hologram to say, and the people will eat it up. They'll believe it. They will believe it, Star. They will believe it. They will say, looks real to me. Why would they try to lie to us? This is the big consensus out there, is that why would the government do
But
that to us?
who would benefit? I'll even be more direct. How would the government benefit? And I'll throw you a little what I'm thinking. Fear. The government wants to keep people in check, in line, if you will, by way of fear. So these holograms and these synthetic life forms that are literally right here, if not already amongst us, how would it benefit the government?
It would benefit the government to have anyone say what they want to say, what the government wants to say. Just imagine if you don't have to convince a man to have your agenda when you can just type it in and it will be. That in itself is attractive.
Okay. Okay. What's cracking on your channel, Premium Black News? Anything you want to make mention of?
Well, tonight I will be doing street interviews.
Okay.
Okay. So I will be here in this beautiful city with a microphone, and I'm asking the question to the women out there. Is I can't remember it now.
Okay.
It happens. But I have a great question. It's a great question I'm asking, and I hope to get some good results, which I'm sure I will.
Okay. Are you up to speed on the Captain America Brave New World teaser?
No, I'm not. I don't watch trailers. I never watch a trailer stuff.
Do you know the MCU?
From me.
You know the MCU universe. I'm trying to find out if this is some type of is this the film going into phase 4? If someone can break that down, phone lines are open right now. What is phase 4 of the MCU? Any thoughts on that?
I'm not up to speed, Tom. I'm not up to speed.
Okay. Elvis, great to see you, man. Thank you for tapping in. I'm going to get back to this Airbnb topic. All right. Good to see you, man.
Bless.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Big Elvis the Chef. He's on one tonight. Okay. Captain America, Brave New World. The teaser. I watched it today. Hold on a second. What are your thoughts? Tony D, I got your cash up. Thank you for tapping in, sir. Elvis looks like Zesty Lion from The Wizard of Bussy. Okay. Wait a minute, guys. Okay, I got an issue with my phone system. Wait a minute. Damn it. I may have to, hopefully I don't have to shut down the show. Okay, I just reset the phones. It's raining like hell where I'm at right now here in Emerald Isle. But thank you, Tony D. Guys, phone lines are reset. Anybody got any information on Alpo Martinez, former drug lord from the New York tri-state area? Supposedly, the person who was arrested for killing him has been acquitted. I can't find like a whole lot of stories. I just saw one story yesterday, and it was like some real sketchy. Hold on a second, some sketchy publication. I wasn't sure. Okay. Someone said, ask Sub-Zero. That's my guy, Sub-Zero. Has he spoken about this? BBN Network. Jack Frost. Has Jack Frost spoken about this? Yes, no, maybe? I said, if I can remember, that Alpo's alleged tranny lover may have popped his top. You guys remember that? Alpo's alleged tranny lover. Alpo himself said, according to an FBI agent that was on Queen's Flip's channel, and he said this when Alpo was alive, that Alpo said when they had him in the interrogation room, and maybe he was joking, whatever, ain't nothing better than a fat butt boy. So that's what led me to, the assumption that maybe, his tranny may have popped his top, right? Hey, Penelope, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Am I having trouble with the phones? It looks okay to me, but it's raining. Hold on a second. It's coming down pretty heavy out there. I will take some calls, though, if you can. Let me check my phones, guys. Hold on a second. Hold on. What is the screen number? Did you guys just hear that thunder? Troll babies, did you hear the thunder? Okay, give it a minute. There may be a delay. Sometimes I don't do Friday shows, but this particular topic of Airbnb failing to protect its guests from hidden cameras. Does anyone prefer Airbnbs over staying at hotels? What is the fascination? I know it's the new thing, just like Uber Eats. Oh, it's so convenient. I don't have to deal with the hotel. I can just go to the Airbnb. But you are releasing a landlord. If I had to guess, I've never seen an Airbnb agreement between a tenant and a landlord. Anybody got any experience with this? Hang on a second. Okay, guys, I don't want to promote anybody's tension, beef, and or drama, but someone said, can you send me an email, please? I'll check that out later. Hey, Supreme Wellbeing, good to see you in the live chat. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm promoting that, man. My Supreme Wellbeing. Hold on a second. MySupremeWellbeing.com. You've got 2 more weeks of free promotion. Thank you for going to the Squirrel Party channel, okay? www.mysupremewellbeing.com. All right. Speaking of the Squirrel Party channel, tomorrow I'm going to try and stream live, depending on the weather. If it's going to be, matter of fact, I can check right now. Hold on a second. Oh, wow. You know what? No. We've got a 74% chance of rain tomorrow. I will not be streaming live. Sunday. It's going to be 90 degrees here in Emerald Isle, North Carolina, and only a 38% chance of rain. Definitely not streaming live tomorrow, okay? Jamal, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Hold on a second. Star That Red Hulk cameo in the new trailer looks awesome. Sir, what is that? Can you call in? I'm looking to be educated on the new Captain America Brave New World. I need to know, is he gay? Well, wasn't that a discussion, Jamal? Advancer Art Group, wasn't that a discussion? Let me look in the live chat. That they were going to make the new Captain America gay? Papa Donna says, bring the squirrels in. Fuck no. That would be the end of me. Let me just read this real quick before I continue on here. Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, okay, Captain America, an Avenger. Okay, so he is Captain America now. Is this temporary? Is this what the franchise has now become? Let me just Google this. Captain America gay. Hold on a sec. I should have did this earlier. I had such a busy day. It's raining like hell out here. Area code 646. Are you there? Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Respected from the BX.
Hey, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. It's cracking.
Hey, what's cracking, man? Hey, I wanted to comment on your theory about AI and holograms.
President Biden, is he a hologram or a synthetic life form? There was also a breakthrough. Well, to the masses, that they were showing facial expressions now being able to be made by way of synthetic life forms a month ago. Did you see that?
I did not see that. Yeah. But I think your theory is more than plausible.
Come on.
I was the lead network engineer for MSG for almost 10 years. And your idea is actually old. I helped build one of the R&D offices where they talked about projecting holograms in users' homes back in 2017, 2018, wherein instead of having it at an arena and people go into an arena, you project it in their home at 360-degree hologram. So I have to say that it's more than just plausible. It's certainly capable of doing that. And getting to your main question really is, who would benefit, or why would the government benefit? The only thing I can think of is just the continuation of things like ideological subversion.
Okay.
That's just like you say, influence is the greatest power. Being able to influence, guide, even I would say, seclude your country's citizens. Which is why some countries like North Korea, they don't want outside influence. They want to control their own ideological subversion techniques and tactics.
Right.
I think that's who benefits. I mean, control, influence, guiding, directing a society the way you want it to go. So you're right on the money.
Well, hang on a second. Don't just tell me what I want to hear. Now, I'm a dropout. I try to put theories out there, and then I explore these things myself as well. That's what keeps me going for the most part, and keeps my mind fresh. Might we, America, might we have reached a max out, if you will, and we are now making the turn to becoming a totalitarian nation where the government, has interest to not only influence but control the masses, and we are heading down the decline, so to speak. Philip K. Dick, you know that name, yes?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. He wrote about this decades ago. This is not my idea. I got it from him. So when I saw Joe Biden and the glitching and the calling Zelensky Putin the other day, and just all this stupid shit. He said something talking about he wanted to fuck a guy's wife. Literally.
Right.
Within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he said, I wanted to fuck your wife. I said, whoa. I said, this has got to be AI. They're working out the kinks in my mind. But go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I saw that. No, I do think though. Again, when you talk about on the decline, I think it's the ism in anything: nationalism, fascism, racism.
Yes.
It's the practice of. They're going to continue to try to adjust to maintain power or whatever it is that they're trying to maintain.
Rule.
Right. So I mean, do I think it'll eventually fall? Probably. I mean, most kingdoms, right, fall, right, at some point. But,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think it's not a theory. I think it's a fact. I think it's just how they're going to apply it. I mean, we're here. We're like you said, and I work in IT.
Okay.
The stuff that they're displaying right now, that was like 10 years ago. They're ahead. There's things that we're unaware of, and capabilities that we're unaware of, that will be made available to us 10 years down the line. And it's hard to keep up, even in my industry, in my career. It's hard to keep up.
Let me ask you a question. Did you say you're retired, or you shifted career?
No, I'm still in IT.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
are aliens already walking amongst us? There's a monumental film, and we've discussed this before, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Do you think that aliens are already living amongst us?
I don't have any proof of that. I do think, though, that there are, I don't know, I'll say governments that are aware of things beyond your normal traditional teaching of outer space. I definitely think that. I definitely think they have been in communication there's some form of communication with something beyond our planet that we're unaware of. Are there aliens here? I don't know about that, but I definitely think that there's more.
Can I ask you to speculate? You sound like a knowledgeable man. Before you go, just speculate. Let me lay one more. Let me lay one more theory out. What one more theory?
Mm-hmm.
There has got to be something going on with these niggas today who run from the police. That's not normal behavior. Have you ever seen niggas now, young niggas? The police are talking to them. These niggas are stepping on the gas, dragging the cops. Who does that? Running from the police. That's some new shit. What are you running for?
Well, that's why I brought up ideological subversion. The influence and the control and the messages that are being put out there. If you listen to the Black community on YouTube, if you listen to some of the things that they're saying, some of the things that they're doing, as younger generations, it makes a baby boomer and a Gen X person scratch their head like in disbelief.
Right.
Makes you scratch your head. So I truly do believe that people are being subverted.
Okay.
That's my belief.
I appreciate the call, man. Have a great weekend. If I don't see you soon, thank you so much.
Have a great one, Star.
Yes,
have a great one.
Okay. Area code 571. Sit tight. You will be my next caller. 571. Sit tight. I'll be right there. Okay, so I just Googled Captain America is more than a person. It's a promise. The character is the first LGBTQ identifying superhero. It was introduced in 2021. Issue United States of Captain America by writer Josh Trujillo. Gay Captain America is returning for the new Marvel storyline. Let me read this. Give me a second. The first gay Captain America is making a triumphant return. Okay. Now, is this just in the Marvel comic books? Come on, I need somebody on the goddamn line, some type of MCU aficionado. Is Anthony Mackie not only the first black Captain America, not that that's some great goddamn accomplishment, but is he gay? Is he a pole smoker? 571, good evening. Late night, we're talking about a few things here. Are you there? 571.
All right, I'm all right. I definitely appreciate the pickup, and then definitely appreciate the topics we talking about.
Thank you.
I tune in quite often.
Where do you want to start, sir?
So first of all, to touch in on what your last caller was saying, when he was saying like some of the things that are going on are making the baby boomers and the people, the generation before, scratch their head like things that make you go you know. So one of the situations is they basically rewriting history. Well, I ain't gonna say they, but history is being rewritten right in front of our faces.
Okay.
Whether we see it, whether or not we pretend to acknowledge it, whether or not you do like what is the ostrich, stick your head in the sand and deal with your own stuff and don't care what's going on around you. At some point, it will hit home, as they call it. But are the lights on when they hit home? Was the light bill paid when it came home? Is anybody home when it came home? Is everybody out working when it came home? So, I've seen a lot of things in my lifetime to make me go to make me say, is there a way to? Is there something I did wrong? Right. I'm not gonna wear the. I will say this.
Hang on a second, sir. Stay with me. I'm enjoying the conversation. You sound like you want to. Sound like you want to testify. Yes.
Hey, he said that. That's why big nigga. That's why I fuck with you, big nigga. That's why I fuck with you, big.
Fuck the algorithm. Hey. Fuck the algorithm.
Oh, my bad.
No. Fuck the algorithm. It sounds like you want to testify. Yes. Let's go. Come on.
Oh, man.
I got time. Let's go.
So,
come on, testify.
Yeah. So like I said, I've seen some things in my life, and I wish it was some people I could have saved. I wish it was some things I could have saw differently, but unfortunately the path run its course, and I am here. We are here. So I don't know. I don't really. I just, like I said, it's a few things that I heard, and like I said, I tune in. I tune in. I see, but these young kids, man. I'm sorry. I don't even know say I'm sorry, but I've turned into what I've heard growing up. Like, man, these young boys don't understand, man. These young boys don't get these young sisters, and man, here it is.
Let me jump in and ask you a question, sir. How old are you?
Oh man, dog, here we go again. Here we go again.
I'm proud of my age. No, I'm proud of my age. I'm just we're talking. How old are you?
All right, man. Look, I'm 40, man. I'm 40.
Okay. Stay with me. Is there some type of new TikTok challenge while these little niggas be running from the police? The police are talking to them. The niggas put the cars in gear and take off. The cops is holding on to the goddamn car, and I saw a nigga get shot. The cop shot the nigga, killed the nigga. Yeah. He had a baby in the car. Nigga, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know. Man. Yeah, I know.
Is that a TikTok challenge, or all these just some different?
It's definitely a tick. It's definitely a challenge. But what I would say to you is the challenges that we may have grew up in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Maybe your father or your mother decided to sip a Milwaukee's Best or sip sip something and want to drive home, and you ain't in no car seat. That's a challenge.
All right.
Now it's a different kind of challenge. It's like, little dude, you've been here for 2 months.
Yeah.
You've been on this earth for 2 months. I hope you know how to pay some rent, and I hope you can get your bread and get your bag right.
Okay.
Because me and your mama ain't really like, I knew your mama for 30 days, and you here. So
give him a second, folks. He's going deep in the rabbit hole. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like I said, when I say, like, when I look in these little, I'll be seeing a lot of the youth. I usually hit my cold shoulder on them. I hit my cold shoulder on them because I don't know them, and you're not my child.
I don't fuck with them.
But I started to look in some of their eyes, and when I look in their eyes, bro, I be seeing pain and hurt, and that make me not even want to like look in their eyes. So not only do I not even want to acknowledge you, little nigga.
Okay.
You over here hurting and going through pain. So it's like, I don't know what that is, but
listen, man, I appreciate the call. You did good, man. Hey, thank you for testifying. You did good.
100, brother. 100, brother.
100. Thank you, sir.
Well,
yes,
now,
sir.
brother, 100
okay.
big nigga. 100 big nigga.
100.
I corrected myself.
100. Salute.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, call in and testify. Why not? It's Friday night. But I want to talk about Airbnb failing to protect its guests from hidden cameras. Are you guys okay with this? Nah, start it's that new shit, and we ain't nobody going to hotels. Yeah, let me tell you why I like hotels, because I can still barricade the door. I always get a room above the 4th or 5th floor. One way in, one way out. I can open up the goddamn window or the balcony, the fresh air coming in, and the goddamn the front door, or the only door, barricaded. I pull out the iron, wedge that motherfucker in there, and then I'll literally push a little chair or a table, something against the goddamn door, and sleep good. Can you do that in the Airbnb? No, you cannot. Amir, I got your cash up. Thank you for tapping in, sir. Okay, he says, oh, here we go. This is what I'm going to talk about. Amir, thank you for your support. Are you there, sir? Amir.
Yes, sir. What up, Star? Can you hear me?
Hey, man, I want you to take your time, educate me, man. Captain America, Brave New World. I watched the teaser. It's coming out in 2025. Is this the first gay superhero who just happens to be black, or is this some type of statement, or is he not gay? I'm confused.
Well, the character Sam Wilson is not a gay man. There is a gay Captain America. He's like a young teenage white dude. Now, it gets confusing with Marvel sometimes because they got all these multiple universes going on, and different things like that. Especially in the comic books, a lot of the stuff sometimes carries over to the MCU, but not all the time.
Okay.
But the character of Sam Wilson, as you know from the other movies, he was, a partner to Steve Rogers, the Captain America. He took the mantle as Captain America when Steve Rogers went to a different universe. So he is carrying the mantle as Captain America going forward. Okay. I know there's even people that play the character in Disney World right now at in the I think it's Universal Studios or something like that, where they have like a Marvel campus. So right now he is being heavily pushed as Captain America. He's not gay in the comics, and I don't think he's going to be gay in the movie because one of his love interests that is from the comics, her name was Leela Taylor. That she's going to be in the movie, played by actress. I'm not very familiar with her, but her name is Zosha Rockmore.
Okay.
She's going to be playing that character. So he's supposed to have, and she's a black woman, so he's supposed to have a love interest in this film.
Is she transgender?
Based on the comic books, no.
Okay.
Now we in a different time with the MCU where they're trying to satisfy everybody.
Yeah.
So, so in the comics, no, she's a black woman with an afro, you know what I'm saying, black power type stuff. So she's not like that in the comics. So, you know, I don't know when I sit down in the movie theaters what I'm going to see pop up on that screen. But as far as I know, based on the comics, she's not transgender. So, and also I know I heard you mention what phase you were in. Yeah. As far as the MCU goes.
Yeah. Listen, sir. I don't know, because if you say the wrong thing, you got what used to be called the geeks. They get at you. So yes, what is phase?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Okay.
I'm one of them geeks.
What is phase 4? What is phase 4?
Phase 4 is done. Phase 4 was when we had the Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie.
Okay.
Where we didn't have T'Challa in that one. It was kind of like a funeral in the movie. So phase 4 was done. That was like during like the pandemic times.
Okay.
You know, and then a lot of stuff got pushed that was supposed to come out like during the writer's strike. Like this movie is big delayed. The Captain America movie. This was supposed to come out, I believe, this year, but it got pushed. They did a whole lot of reshoots. Harrison Ford was added to the movie because the character that he's playing, Thunderbolt Ross, the guy that originally played him, died.
Okay.
So they had to replace him.
Okay.
So a lot of stuff is in the writer's strike, actor's strike, all that stuff. So this movie got pushed. But we are now currently in phase 5.
Oh wow.
Okay. From what I'm getting right now, it looks like they're trying to build to another Avengers movie, which I'm sure they're going to probably announce the title of that movie soon, because San Diego Comic-Con is coming up, and Marvel hasn't been there for a few years, and they're finally going back to San Diego Comic-Con to do Hall H.
Do you know the date? Do you know the date of that San Diego, California Comic-Con you said?
Yeah, I believe it's next weekend. It's coming up. It's coming up.
That's too.
Yeah, it's coming up very soon.
That's too soon.
I think it's next weekend.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you know, we got Deadpool coming out, so it's a lot of stuff coming that Marvel's preparing for, and I thought the trailer was dope, man. I ain't gonna front. I really liked the trailer.
I liked it when he threw the shield and it started taking down the White House, right?
Yeah. I was digging it, man. I watched it a few times. There's some other issues with that trailer right now already. Okay. People are talking about boycotting the movie.
Oh, stop!
Because there's man. Apparently, there's a character that's in there that Israel character, and with the whole Palestine thing going on, it's a whole lot of stuff right now with that. And people are already talking about they want to boycott it. But listen, it's a black dude. You know, we haven't had a lead black character in a Marvel movie since Chadwick Boseman passed away, or male lead, excuse me. So I'm looking forward to it. Me and my boys, we've been talking about this because I have a podcast where I talk about comics and comic book movies and stuff. So this is a dope day for comic book fans and movie fans with this trailer dropping today.
Well, listen, stay with me a second. And if you get time, send me an email about your platform, and I'll promote it for you in my community section, no charge. I appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate this call. I saw a couple of years ago. Is it Sam Holland? Is that Spider-Man? What's his name?
Oh, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. He said he wouldn't mind Spider-Man taking it in the ass, right?
Hey, I don't remember him saying that. I do remember him saying he wanted to get out of the role.
Oh, no.
I mean, that could have been someone trolling.
So can you Google? Stay with me. Tom Holland wants Spider-Man to be gay.
I do remember him saying he wanted Spider-Man he wouldn't mind it being Miles Morales in live action.
Hold on.
But let me
hold on. IndieWire, July 2nd, 2019. Tom Holland open to Spider-Man coming out as gay.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah, listen, the MCU, they've been trying to please people for a long time. I don't know if you remember this. So, yeah, I see the article right here. Yeah, that's wild. The MCU, even with the first Black Panther movie, there was a lot of people from that community that were pissed off about the movie because it didn't have representation in Black Panther of, everybody from that community as well. Even though 90% of the Dora Milaje that protect Black Panther were actually lesbian females. But, you got to read the comics to know that. And you just go into the movie and not knowing what's going on the surface level, you're going to nitpick it. So when the second Black Panther movie came out, they made sure to have the LGBT represented very, front facing in that movie with some of the female warriors. There was a love story in there. So, with two female characters, which is whatever. But yeah, the MCU, they really try to crowd please with everybody so they can get that money at the end of the day. I mean, they are representing Disney, and Disney is probably one of the biggest pimps in the game. So that's funny. I'm gonna have to read into that article.
Yeah, I got two more questions for you here. If you got time. Gwyneth Paltrow, someone sent in a cash app. Were they just trolling? Gwyneth Paltrow is gonna take on the Iron Man role. Was that just a troll?
Well, she did have on a suit in the Endgame movie, but no, she's not taking over the role. There is a Iron Heart series supposedly coming to Disney Plus. It was supposed to be out also this year, but it was one of those shows that got pushed because of the writer's strike and everything. But it's a Black female character. She was in the Black Panther Wakanda.
Is everybody becoming Black now?
Yeah, why not? Why not? But that is a popular character from the comic books. Riri Williams, she had a pretty decent run in the comic book shops. I enjoyed that run. It was also written by a Black woman named Eve L. Ewing. She's like a professor or a doctor in Chicago. But it was a pretty dope story. But they've been delayed on that and supposedly already done. But that is who's supposed to take up the mantle of Iron Man, is a character called Riri Williams, Ironheart. So yeah, not Gwyneth Paltrow. She might be in the series, but she's not going to be taking up the mantle.
Well, when I say is everybody becoming Black in terms of the superheroes, it's almost like EDI, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Why don't? I don't want that. Why don't they just build a totally Black division? Why do we have to see the white comic heroes, superheroes, if you will, become Black? Why not just focus on new Black superheroes? Does that make sense?
That makes 100% sense. That's been a major topic of discussion in the Black collectors space, where we don't want to take up the mantles of previous characters. We want our own characters. Like we've had Luke Cage, we've had Black Lightning, and Black Panther. We've had these characters, Storm and stuff, but they don't promote them heavy in the comics that much anymore. A lot of them are taking a back seat, and now they're promoting other characters to take up mantles from white characters. So a lot of people in the space that I'm in, we've been going towards independent comics. With Black creators, artists, writers, where they're they're putting out their own Black stories based on original characters. So it's hard because Marvel and DC get all the money. So, that's where all the attention goes. So they keep trying to do all that diversity stuff through them. But
one last question, and make sure you promote your platform before we end this call. Wakanda and the Black Panther, what are they going to do with that whole franchise?
Me personally, I want them to get away from Shuri as the Black Panther. She did take up the mantle in the comics for a short amount of time.
Who is that?
I would really like.
Who is that? For those who don't know, who is that?
Shuri is T'Challa's sister, who took up the mantle in the last Black Panther movie. In Black Panther 2. So she became Black Panther in that movie. I mean, it was an okay movie, but Black Panther isn't the same without T'Challa. You need T'Challa in front.
Now,
my hope.
Hang on. So now, might they find another black guy to play the Black Panther, or are they going to keep it with the female? Because here's the thing. This may sound crazy. I enjoyed the first Black Panther film, but I just felt that he was getting his ass kicked a lot. Yes, no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He definitely got his ass whooped a few times in that movie, but he didn't stay down, which was cool. You know what I'm saying? But I really hope I hope they recast.
Nigga start doing too much. Say again.
I really hope. I really hope they recast T'Challa, man. Like that's what the community's been wanting, but it's up to Marvel and Ryan Coogler on that. But we want a new T'Challa. We want to recast.
Okay. Hey man, what's your platform again?
My platform is called the 1 in 100 Podcast. It's audio only right now. We'll be going to YouTube most likely next weekend.
Okay.
I'll be doing lives every Saturday morning. But yeah, the 1 in 100 Podcast on all major podcasting platforms. You can follow me on Instagram at the Black Podcaster with a 6, not a B.
Nice.
And that's it, man. Appreciate you, Star.
Keep me posted if Spider-Man starts taking it on all fours, man. That's I'm gonna cut him loose if that happens. All right.
Yeah, you and me both.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Peace.
All right. That was a good call. I had to get to the bottom of this whole, Captain America, Brave New World teaser. I was kind of concerned before I watched this. Oh God, I hope he's not going to hold hands or, French kiss some white guy. 510. Give me a second. I'll be right there. 510. Sir Shy, got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Okay, you're calling in, Sir Shy. Sit tight. Maurice, I got your donation. Bathtub reglazing specialist. Tri-State area. Absolutely. I got your information coming up shortly here, Maurice. Let me just make sure. www.hudsontubs.com. There you go. Okay. Hey, Dope Man, haven't spoke to you in a while from Tom Yum Lachon. Guys, is Dope Man okay? Somebody sent me an email yesterday and said he had some type of issue. Is Dope Man okay? Jason, I got your donation. Disney promote bussy business. Yeah. I'm not surprised, but just there's certain things I just don't want to see the progression of, I would like to see black superheroes with their own universe. I don't want to see you taking over the roles of your white counterparts. Get out of here with that. Area code 510. Good evening. Too loud. Please.
Is that better, sir?
Yeah. Is this Sir Shy?
Yeah.
Good to hear from you, man. What's cracking?
You just want to touch on the topic about the Marvel Universe.
Well, Airbnb, man. Let's start there first. That's my main topic. CNN did a whole Airbnb mini series of sorts. Any experience? Do you use Airbnbs?
Now, when I travel, because I'm actually a stadium sports enthusiast.
Okay.
So I actually like going to different stadiums. I've always used hotels, best hotels, Hilton's, stuff like that. I would never trust an Airbnb.
So you've never been to an Airbnb? Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't even know how to set it up.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's an app or
Yeah, it's an app.
I've been out that.
I don't even have that app. Okay. So no knowledge in that area. Okay.
Yeah.
MCU, Captain America, the new teaser just came out. Brave New World. Did you see it? So Shy.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The last caller had a lot of good points. I guess what's a little disappointing is that they could recast the red version of Hulk with Harrison Ford, but couldn't recast T'Challa, who was played by Chadwick Boseman.
Got you.
You could have hired Denzel Washington's son. You could have gotten another African actor. Sure, maybe even recast Michael B. Jordan to replace T'Challa. But Disney, in their heart of heart, they don't believe in a black prince or a black king. They talk about all these alt-right guys, but, sometimes those guys on the far left, they can be just as prejudiced as the ones that, that's a Trump supporter or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're all full of it. When it comes to DEI, I like DEI, but I think it needs to be monitored because really it's just an LGBTQ and white woman front. That's all it is.
Let me ask you a question based upon research, marketing, and promotion, and the audience, because the audiences are creatures of habit. They like certain things, they gravitate towards certain things, just like sweet drinks, certain foods they gravitate towards. No matter what else you try to sell them or promote to them, they're still going to go get, chicken wings, mac and cheese, and a grape soda.
Right.
A grape soda.
Hey, grape soda good. I like grape soda.
So now, you mentioned black. How did you say that? Black superheroes not being promoted enough. Who was
black men? I'll be honest. It's really black men. Okay, black women are really being overrepresented. Okay, because black women low key they've kind of.
Does the consumer audience want that? Will they pay for that? Just like, hey, I can sit here and go off course and talk about topics that are not trending topics, and then in the comments, yo, I love these type of shows. This is that real shit. But those videos don't get any real replay value. Comments are like half of what the trending stories get. Will the black audience, black in particular, will they support black superheroes?
I mean, we supported Black Panther. I mean, from Oakland to Los Angeles, they sold out theaters everywhere because it was, T'Challa was always one of the more popular ones. Now, with Sam Wilson being Captain Falcon America, I like him personally as his Falcon persona. I don't think you need to replace Steve Rogers, somebody that we all grew up with. And Marvel has really been replacing all the male characters with female characters. From Iron Man, they're replacing Iron Man with a black woman. They replaced Hawkman with a white girl. And they're doing the same to Star Wars, to Star Trek. They're just changing the history. Like Luke Skywalker is not important anymore. It's about some black girl from the Alkalite, which has caused so much controversy in the whole Star Wars genre.
Okay.
I actually want to talk to Elvis's chef when he would mention it, but he.
Well, hang on a second. You put something on the table here. I want to do a little research here. The Black Panther film came out in 2018, right? A budget of 200 million, box office 1.3 billion.
What it be?
Okay, so now hold on a second. The second film was called what? Wakanda Forever?
I didn't watch it. I protested that movie.
Hold on. That's exactly why I'm asking you. What was the second film called? Was it Wakanda Forever?
Yes.
2020, right? Let's do a little work here. Wakanda Forever film. Okay, came out 2022. Budget 200 million. Box office 8.59 million. So it started declining. The reason why I said that is because sometimes you can have one project that boom, I gotta see that, but then that audience doesn't necessarily keep coming back. So that's why I'm asking you: would the black audience really continuously support black superheroes, or do they want to see the white heroes? Pardon me. Maybe by way of being creatures of habit, propaganda. They look towards the different superheroes to be more realistic. Go ahead.
I don't mind. I grew up on the white superheroes. I don't want to see Reed Richards Filipino. I don't want to see Spider-Man Mexican. I like my characters originally how they are. And no, I disagree. I think Black people would have supported Black Panther 2, number one, if they had recasted T'Challa, and number two, if they didn't race gender swap Namor the Submariner. He went from a white-looking dude to a Mexican dude. No. So when you try to pander to audiences thinking you're going to score points, the audience isn't dumb. The reason why the movie failed to do $1 billion is because people told Marvel or Kevin Feige, recast T'Challa. Let's keep up the momentum, but they don't believe in Black kings and heroes. So they replaced it with feminism. They used a Black woman to replace her brother.
Good point.
And it failed miserably.
Good point. Yeah.
And they're doing the same in Star Wars.
I was turned off by the Puerto Ricans swimming underwater in Wakanda. Wakanda.
Yeah,
I said, well, what are we doing now? I'm out of here.
Yeah, they turned Namor the Submariner into a Puerto Rican, and it's just all a bunch of stereotypes. So yeah, man, it's like the same thing they're doing to Star Trek and Star Wars. It's pathetic, and we're not dumb. So Marvel and Disney, they'll continue to lose until they get back to the source material.
Okay. All right. Sir Shai, great to talk to you, man. Thank you for tapping in.
Always good to talk to you too.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
All right. Guys, rain is coming down really heavy here. Really heavy here. Evan, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Okay, you're calling in from 845. Okay, I don't see you in the queue yet. I'll come back in a second. Itchy Palm says Airbnb got bed bugs. I've never stayed at an Airbnb. You know, back in the days, I stayed at a few bed and breakfast. Isn't Airbnb like a newer version of a bed and breakfast? But that was just like an in and out thing, you know? That was just a place to crash. Early 80s, bed and breakfast, when I used to go up to Martha's Vineyard. You know, sometimes you get stuck at the goddamn the ferry at Woods Hole. You miss the last ferry over, so you get a bed and breakfast. But you literally just go in and crash. You're not looking to spend a week there and and bring your own pots and pans and all that extra shit. Thank you, Itchy Palm. I got your donation. And thank you, Sir Shah. He always has good perspectives. Hold on a second. Luxury Optic Design. I got your email. Are you tapping in? Tonight would be a good night for sponsors to call in. And let me say again, sponsors, if you have a post in my community section, I urge you to leave a comment. Go under your post and say, hey guys, come to our platform, check out our products. That they really want to see you interact. 845, thank you for your support. You wanted to talk about what with regards to the topics? Area code 845.
Hey, Star, how are you?
Hey, good. Who's this? Is it Evan?
Yes, it is.
How are you, man? What's cracking?
Good. I want to talk about the whole gay agenda thing. A little background. My dad's been a psychiatrist for about 30 years now. So there's this. Are you familiar with zoochosis at all?
Well, when you say gay agenda, you're talking about in the world of film? Because I just asked a question. I mean, was the new Captain America supposed to be gay? It was just a little tidbit that I caught a couple of years ago. And now the new teaser is out. So is it, with regards to that film, is the gay agenda in that film? Do you know? Where are you going?
No, I don't know much about the whole film gay agenda thing. But in like the real world and society, it's a big problem with like mental illness and all that stuff.
Oh, wow. You're going there. Come on.
Oh, yeah. All right. So the whole thing with zoochosis is like there's a study done with monkeys where they're in captivity for long periods of time. They get anxiety, depression, like they masturbate all the time. They throw their own poop at each other, and they exhibit all these homosexual behaviors. And now, if you look at concentrated cities, you see that same type of behavior everywhere. And like nobody calls it out. No one says anything about it. But it's the same concept.
I'm listening.
So with people who can't afford jobs, everybody's kind of trapped in these cities in their own little bubble world. So all they do is read. They have no actual life outside of social media.
Okay.
And it keeps them in this sort of little mind prison, and it drives them crazy. So if you notice that majority of society.
Can I ask, are you, so you mentioned, referenced your father. Are you educated in this field yourself, or you just, you watch your father explore this world?
I've had many good talks with him about it.
Okay. I do know that in 1973, what was the name of that study that came out? The declassification. Was it the DSM? Right, DSM 1973, where the sexual orientation, homosexuality was a disorder, mental disorder, or is that going too far back for you?
Yes. No, you're on the money with that. With the transgender is also called gender dysphoria.
No. Do you have issues with gay people? Who am I speaking to?
No, I have no problem with gay or trans people. I'm just saying like it is.
Well, hang on now. You just made you tried to make a correlation between monkeys being trapped and people being trapped in the I guess worker inner city environments, and thus becoming homosexual because of that. What am I
sure it can drive people to exhibit homosexual behaviors, but it doesn't mean like they're trapped in that kind of body and all that stuff that people like to say. It is a real illness, but I don't think that's what we're seeing right now. I think it's a trend that people are hopping onto.
So you don't think that people are born gay?
It's possible, but I don't know. It's a good question.
Can you give us some information on you, or you don't want to be acknowledged by your name?
Sure, I'm a straight man. I don't like the whole pipe smokers thing.
Can you give us your name? I mean, you say you're a straight man. I don't know.
Yeah. Evan.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, with regards to Captain America, Brave New World, I was just asking because I caught a little tidbit a couple years ago, and I thought that this was some type of rollout for the new Black Captain America. But I did see Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man. He was open to playing a gay Spider-Man. What do you think about that, or do you not care?
I think it's a joke. They should keep it original, and if they're going to have a gay character or a black character, they should make it original with their own backstory and all that. They shouldn't twist these kinds of their creators and what they spent their lives working on to make it this new thing. Like,
I agree. Yeah.
It takes away from all that hard work and effort.
How old are you?
If we're talking about movies.
Can I ask how old are you, Evan?
23.
Okay. You were saying, go ahead.
If we're talking about movies and replacing white characters with black characters, what I would like to see is a movie about this runaway slave who became a samurai in feudal Japan. I would watch that. That's a real story, and I would highly recommend you look into that.
I saw that a couple of weeks ago. Isn't that some type of game now? the Black Samurai. He was African.
I think they're making it into an Assassin's Creed game.
Yes. He was an African samurai or something. I don't have the story in front of me. Yeah, I spoke about that.
Yeah, that's it.
Briefly. Yeah. And people were concerned about that. Right?
I mean, instead of race swapping all these characters, they should focus on real stories like that. I would pay for that. Are you kidding me?
Black Samurai game. Yeah. Hold on a second. Yeah, new Assassin's Creed. Yeah, that came out a month ago. Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Well, listen,
it's out already.
Yeah. I appreciate the call. Any thoughts and with regards to Airbnbs failing to protect guests, lawsuits, 35,000 complaints over the last decade? Are you yourself a person who uses Airbnbs?
Yes, I go to a place called Tybee Island every summer, and I go to an Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old officers' building.
Yeah,
that's my friend Megan. She runs Airbnbs.
That's out there near the Savannah area, Tybee Island.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what do you think about?
I don't think it's the guests who do that and set up cameras for, their own peeping Tom pleasure. I think
no, it's the landlords
owners that would do that.
No. The CNN report saying that the landlords, these are complaints filed against the landlords who own these Airbnbs. They're peeping in and watching their guests. But hey, man, I appreciate the call. Thank you for tapping in.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. All right. Okay. Guys, on the screen, youtube.com/@Coffee Chat with Camille. It's one of my sponsors. Okay. Lex Diamonds, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, sir. Salute, fam. Squirrels pounding on rainy windows. Nah, the squirrels are good, man. They got their own, area out there in the woods. It's where I live, there's I got a lot of space on both sides of the house. And the front of my house is the beach. Literally, it's right there. But in the back, there's all sorts of woods. So they've got tunnels. They're up in the trees. Yeah, there's no reason for them to try and come in the house here. I'm not playing that game with them. Blade says, in this modern world, you have to protect yourself from hidden cameras the same way you have to pack a pistol to protect yourself. Okay. Thank you, Blade. He sent me some type of link. Hold on. 917, sit tight. You'll be my next caller. Sit tight. Yeah, I've seen these hidden camera detectors. Yeah. I don't utilize Airbnbs. I don't feel safe. Okay, thank you, Amir. I got your email. Okay, Jason. He says Babylon lives. Yeah, I would say so. Area code 917. We're having a discussion about a few topics. Are you there? 917.
Yeah. Hi, Star. How are you?
Hey. Who's this?
Hey, my name is Liz. I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Hey, Liz.
Hey, so I'm calling to talk about the Airbnb.
Any experiences?
And the hidden camera.
Any experiences?
Well, I run an Airbnb.
Okay.
So, no, I never stayed in an Airbnb. I prefer to stay in a hotel, but I run an Airbnb. Airbnb, basically, I don't think they should be responsible for the hidden cameras, because Airbnb has really no control over what landlords put in their properties. They sent out like a notification the other day and told, like an email or whatever, and said that it's illegal to have cameras basically inside the unit.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So you have to follow, you as a landlord, you have to follow those guidelines.
Right.
However, if you know, there are a lot of people that are perverts. You know, they like to watch. They like to put cameras in bathrooms. Airbnb, they don't normally come and inspect your property. They don't even see your property. So I think if Airbnb had like sole ownership of your property and you were just, you know, making money off of it like that, then Airbnb should be responsible. But if they find out that the landlord has hidden cameras in the bathroom, in the bedrooms, I think it should be taken up. First of all, they should be kicked out of Airbnb, never be able to host it. They should be heavily fined, and they should be prosecuted by the law, especially if Airbnb has those terms that if you violate, you know, you will be subjected to these sanctions.
Yeah. If I can jump in for a second. You're right. Airbnb, earlier in my broadcast, I spoke about on their website, they're not responsible. And they clearly state it when you accept the terms that you are releasing them from any and all wrongdoing. You are indemnifying them in a sense. So, so the landlords, for different reasons, and this is where it gets tricky. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is where it gets tricky because in the Atlanta metro area, they put in a new law. This may be a year or two ago when I was living in Georgia. No more parties in Airbnbs. You have landlords. You have landlords that say, "Hey, you know, I've spent $5,000, if you will, upgrading this house, or maybe $10,000. I should be able to set up cameras to monitor to make sure that young people aren't, you know, breaking the goddamn the brand new sink, cracking the marble counter, lighting a fire in the garage." So I can somewhat sort of understand that, but you know, the whole camera inside the bedroom, that's where it gets tricky. That's voyeurism. That's voyeurism, and that's borderline perversion. Yes.
However, if you're going to have cameras in your dwelling, they should not be hidden, and your tenants should know where your cameras are located.
Right.
It's okay for you to have cameras in your living room, outside the perimeter of the house, by the entry doorways and things in the backyard. However, in places like the bathroom and the bedrooms, that's invasion of privacy, right? So it's nothing wrong with having cameras inside the house, but as long as you let the tenants know that, it's okay. Yeah.
Stay with me. Stay with me. Now, let's be objective for a second. Let's be objective. You and I are married. We're renting out a home in I don't know, Buckhead, Georgia. We've got some little young ratchet black female and her friends, and they're in the bathroom rolling up the kush, the piff, the la, whatever you call it now, the za, and one little. You got one little monkey bitch. She goes and jumps up on the glass door to the goddamn shower, cracks the whole door. I saw that video. The whole goddamn glass door cracks. And the little monkey bitch just looked at it and walked away. Didn't give a fuck.
Oh, well.
As a landlord, I want to be able to call the police right away. Lock them all up. Take it from there. Take it from there.
As a landlord, when they check out from you're going to have whoever is, say I'm managing the place.
Right.
Before check out, I'm going to come there, inspect the place. First of all, I'm taking pictures before they get there and video. Before they leave, I'm going to go there and I'm going to take pictures and videos. Anything that's broken or damaged, I would submit my claim to Airbnb, and Airbnb insures you up to a certain amount of money for your damages, and you will be repaid for your damages. So you are insured.
Let me jump in. Again, you and I are married. I'm your husband. I don't want you going there and running into those little savages. Let them leave. Let them leave. You go in after they check out, because if you go there to take pictures and they happen to be, turned up on the perkies and all sorts of shit, somebody might, punch you in the mouth. You're on World Star. Shit gets crazy. This is complicated. Did you see the CNN video that I'm talking about? Not that you had to, but this is complicated.
I saw a news report, and it was showing like the landlord was taking screenshots of people in the bedroom.
Right.
And I think he had called the police, or the police called him a couple months later when the couple found out there was a charger in the bedroom, and the charger happened to be a hidden camera.
Yeah.
And he called the couple, and he was really nervous, and he was like, "You need to bring that charger back right away," because he didn't want them to know that it was a hidden camera.
That's the CNN. That's the report. You saw it.
Oh, yeah, that's the report. But to get back to the thing in the bathroom, you could take the pictures after the people leave, and Airbnb, you're insured. They will definitely recoup you of your the insurance. They have an insurance that they would definitely give you your money back for any damages from those guests, as long as you could provide pictures of the damage before and after.
Stay with me. I want to throw one more question scenario at you, if you will.
Okay.
You and I are married, right? Your best friend's husband rents the Airbnb. You notice it's your best friend's husband, right? You're looking through the camera that's monitoring the living room or whatever you said, and you see him, your best friend's husband. He's got a little ashtray full of Molly and a tranny.
A tranny?
Hang on. We going there. Got himself a little Molly in the ashtray, and a tranny just happens to come over. What do you do? Now this is a business transaction. You tell on your best friend's husband, that's a lawsuit. What do? Do you mind your business, or do you call your best friend and you say, "Hey, I'm looking at I don't know, Shamir. Shamir is right now with the tranny in my goddamn Airbnb." What do you do?
Oh boy, that's tough. A part of me, I would want to mind my business, because chances are she probably know he messed with trannies anyway. So she might tell me to mind my business, and they're still going to be. Yes.
But what would you do?
Yes.
What would you do? That's the question. What would you do?
I will probably mind my business and act like I didn't see it. Because I've been in situations like that before, and I've told, and I ended up with an enemy, basically. So I will mind my business. He's paying me. When I get my money, I'm good.
I have to say, stop the cap. You will call your friend, your cap.
No, I swear to God. Let me tell. Can I tell you?
Go ahead.
My Airbnb. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know if anybody knows me on your platform.
No, don't say your name. Don't say your name.
I'm not gonna say. All right, on my Airbnb, I see my father bringing women in.
Whoa! Yo, let's not do that. Let's not do that. I don't want to catch a lawsuit from your father. Great to talk to you. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate your donation. You have a wonderful night.
Okay. Thanks, Star.
Bye now. Okay. Guys, on the screen, the Jace perspective. Jace, where are you? I haven't heard from you. What's going on? Have you posted new content? Jace, send me an email, please. What's cracking? What's shaking? What's popping? Guys, please go to the Jace perspective on YouTube. Tell her I sent you. 206, sit tight. You're in the queue. 206. Airbnb fails to protect its guest from hidden cameras. I really think that there's a lot of people who just accept the I can't even say invasion of privacy anymore. It's just you accept the new terms, of living. It's not a big deal to you. You don't have privacy concerns like those of the past. Hey, anybody in the live chat, anybody see that video I was talking about like months ago? We had the little monkey bitch in the bathroom with her friends, and she jumped up on the goddamn the glass shower door, and crack, 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 the whole shit broke. And the little monkey just looked at the glass on the floor and walked off. Anybody see that? I said, look at this little savage. Chanel, hey Chanel, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Okay, guys. Chanel, if you want to be an advertiser, send me an email. My email address is always posted, thehater1964@yahoo.com, and we will get you some information with regards to a promo package. All right. Let me go to area code 206. Friday night, late night. Are you there? 206.
Hey, Star, it's Sunday.
Sunday, how are you? Good to hear from you.
I'm great. Likewise. I wanted to comment on your topics for tonight.
Can we start with the Airbnb topic? That's my main topic. It's not really trending, but I saw a video, a special, pardon me, from CNN, and I was a little concerned. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I've done Airbnb one time. I was in California, Anaheim. I was doing like a Disney trip with my son.
Okay.
And it was a Chinese family. It was husband, wife, and children. We all kind of had really young kids at the time. My son was 2 and their kids were toddlers as well.
Okay.
I think having cameras would be great. I really do. Okay. Just not in the private areas like the previous caller had said. No bathroom, no bedroom cameras. I was there while they were physically occupying the space. They just gave me a small designated room.
Okay.
But even if I had rented the entire space, I still think cameras would be great. Because a lot of people have a disregard for other people's property. So if they want to destroy something and then say they didn't do it, or fake a break-in or whatever to damage their property, it would be hard for them to kind of get their claim kind of approved, I think. So having cameras in like kitchens, common areas, in and outside the house, I think is appropriate. But just not like, also like they would have to say, if you do have any intimate activities, that needs to happen in private areas. So I feel like they should also have that conversation too. Because at your own property, you can be intimate anywhere in the house. That's your business, but you shouldn't do that or take those liberties in another person's home. And so therefore cameras shouldn't be an issue. That's how I see it. If you're not doing anything,
and
why do you?
How old are you again? I forget, Sunday. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Okay.
A little older.
Let's say you and I are in a relationship, right? You and I are in our 20s. That's that age where, the passion is racing and the sexual activity is at a high, right? We check into a Airbnb. You do something that annoys me. I flip out. I grab you by your neck. I throw you down in the living room, not in the bedroom. I throw you down. You get up. You punch me. We're brawling, literally, as young people do. We're moving the furniture around. And then we have makeup sex. It's all good. That's what young people do, right?
I don't think that's okay.
Well, okay, hang on. But I'm just giving you a scenario of young people. I'm too old to do that type of shit anymore, but I'm just saying that's what young people do. Okay, so we're in an Airbnb. We was getting it in. You chin checked me, I gave you uppercut. But we're in a relationship, and then we had some great sex. After we have the sex, we're sitting down, we're eating, I don't know, some fucking Chick-fil-A. Somebody's knocking on the door, bang, bang, bang. Cops come in, shoot me, pow, and kill me. Kill me because the landlord who owned the goddamn place was watching us just being young, having fun, and then having make-up sex. And she said, the landlord called the police. Hey, there's a black guy beating the shit out of his girlfriend. Can you come? And they came, and they fucking killed me. Then what?
No, I understand that. So there's a couple of ways to kind of soften the whole camera conversation. Your last caller said making them visible and known up front.
Well, hang on. Can we address what?
Just directly in that scenario?
Address that scenario and what you said. You're okay with the cameras. Again,
yes, I am.
Just that scenario.
Well, that's unfortunate because I think if somebody's going to actively monitor you, then that is a problem. Because then if they're looking to find an issue, then they're going to find one, And as far as police are concerned, as a black person, you have to know how to handle police, hands up right away, whatever the protocol is in that area. So it would be unfortunate, but I don't have really any opinion about that because I couldn't blame the homeowners. That's not okay. People who think that shit is cute, it's not cute to attack your partner. It's just not, because it always escalates. It happens, but it's not okay. Those relationships don't last. And I just think as far as the cameras are concerned, I think that for example, if I was a homeowner and I was renting,
hang on. Sonia, let's take our time. That's young people, emotions running high. Doing what young people do. It wasn't really I wasn't abusing you. We were fighting as young people do. Young couples, we got it in. You punched me in my shit, then I hit you back. Again, we had sex, we made up. It's all good. There's no rational way to explain that. It's just what young people do. And then the police come in and fucking kill me. I put my hands up and they still killed me. Pow! Did I deserve to be killed?
No, you don't. But you're saying that's what young people do. I disagree. In my life, I'm almost 40. I have never experienced an abusive relationship where somebody hits you other than with an actual abuser.
I have all the time back in the 80s. That was regular.
No, wait.
Regular shit.
The man that you are, and who you attract is not the majority. Let's keep it real. And I say that with all due respect.
Come on.
I say that with all due respect, but the man that you are is not the majority. The majority of people do not include domestic violence in their relationship. That's not normal, and it shouldn't be normalized either. When I was younger, the people that I dated, I want to say 99%, none of them were violent. There was never any of that going on. So I disagree respectfully.
Okay.
But for me, what I was thinking was
hang on. I more so want to focus on the young people. I've always, if you ask me, I've always defended myself. I was never, causing domestic violence. I was always defending myself. But now young people, that's what they do. They have these heightened sexual encounters, play, and it gets a little, heavy at times. That's what young people do, yes?
Verbally, I would get in verbal disputes when I was younger. When I was in my 20s, tons of verbal disputes, never physical, never. Always verbal. And that's common, I think, more so than the physical stuff, where you're yelling at each other, cussing each other out. That, to me, is more, common than the physical stuff.
Gotcha.
That's a lifestyle. That's not a one-off thing.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, but you're in support of the cameras and the Airbnbs, long story short.
Yeah, okay. I am. Yeah, because there's too much destruction of property. There's too much illegal activities that's going on in people's private spaces. I was physically there with these people. Literally, I would walk out through the front door and they were sitting in the living room enjoying their family time. So for those who are renting an entire space with nobody there to watch them, right. Absolutely, cameras, theft as well. Cameras should be there. But I would love to comment on the Marvel thing that you were talking about.
Please. Yes, I was just asking. We've already gotten to the bottom of the new Captain America film, the teaser that I saw, Captain America, Brave New World. I just asked, was this the gay black rollout for the new Captain America, and the people are saying no, he's not gay. That's something to do with the comic strip. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I listened to your callers. I agree with them 100%. I think what they said was amazing and spot on. So there's not much that I have to add, but I do have a few pointers.
Go ahead.
So when it comes to, and I don't ride with the red pill community or all of the chauvinistic stuff that like other platforms say, like the extremists. But I will say that I believe in traditional roles.
Okay.
And I cringe. I cringe when they utilize female leaders and female superheroes. I hate it. And I don't think that that's what society wants. I think they do that because when they put the wrong image up, the sales are low. And then they go and say, well, hey, every time we hire Black people, the sales are low. Nobody watches. This is why we can't pay them the same. And this is why we can't invest in these type of films. So they kind of sabotage it before it starts because they know Black people are not going to want to see a homosexual superhero if that were to happen. They know Black people don't want to see unattractive Black female superhero either. And they specifically choose unattractive Black women to put as leads in films.
Okay.
They do it on purpose. There are too many beautiful, sexy women on this planet who are brown, high yellow, chocolate, you name it, that are just gorgeous, tens. And they don't ever hire these women because they don't want people to know how beautiful Black can be. So they hire women that are overweight, average, below average. They put them in an afro. They don't want them to be competitive to the Margot Robbies or the Marilyn Monroes. They don't want them to compete. So they specifically, I believe, these big networks, they sabotage Black media so that the sales are low. The numbers are bad. They do maybe one production a year to satisfy the racist claims thrown at them.
Right.
And it flops. They do it on purpose by design. But for people that see the bigger picture, this is a wonderful thing. A wonderful opportunity for those that want to challenge that and create their own productions. So the Tyler Perrys, the people that have the skill, the funding to create their own independent, and one of your callers said this already, it's wonderful because we still have a need to see ourselves on screen. And so productions like Supercell, which was released recently on Netflix, grossed about $34 million.
Okay.
And it's top 3.
If I can jump in for a second, if I can jump in here.
Okay.
Hopefully, I don't know. I like Tyler Perry's some of his work. I respect his grind. I remember when he was having his plays at the Beacon Theater in New York City for a lot of years. I was working at WEA. I used to get all those tickets. I used to give those tickets to my mom and other people. I even went to a couple of his shows. So he got it out the mud. I respect Tyler Perry. But I think there needs to be more networks. He can't be the only one. And that's
no. That's why I mentioned Supercell.
Yeah, but okay.
You're right. Nobody should have a monopoly. But Supercell is a all-Black superhero series that took something negative and made it positive. So Black people, regardless of if you're mixed or not, are the number one carriers of sickle cell anemia. So they took that disease and turned it into a superpower on the series. They have one season.
Can you send me an email when you get time? I haven't seen that.
Absolutely. It's fantastic.
Okay.
And the cool thing about that series is that it's proof of concept. So these big production companies are sabotaging these ethnic projects, specifically Black, in order to justify low budget, not wanting to reinvest, and then low pay, like Taraji P. Henson would complain that her salary was not even a fraction of so-and-so, because they have so much data to support why her pay should be low, because they invest in poor projects, right? So it's all a conspiracy in my view, but it's a great, great opportunity for those who look at the bright side. Because if you look at the cup half full...
Hold on one second, Sonny, before I forget, I have a theory about Taraji P. Henson. I have a theory.
Okay.
I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I think prior to her playing the role of Cookie on Empire, she was headed towards being an A-lister to make really good money. I think that the role of Cookie did brand damage to her. I watched the first season of Empire. I couldn't watch the second season. It became too weird. I didn't want to waste time talking about it.
Okay.
But the whole Cookie, that was her name, right? Cookie in Empire?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Turned me off from her. From that point, Taraji P. Henson, I think of Cookie. I didn't like that character. I don't like females like Cookie. I can do business with you, but that whole, I said, oh, fuck out of here. And I think that did brand damage to her. What do you think of that theory?
Okay. I don't think she had, I think she was set to have a limited ceiling to begin with. Yeah. If we want it, she's 50 something. So back when she was in her 20s, I think she already had a ceiling and she reached it. I don't think Cookie did damage. I think she was already set to be a B-lister to begin with.
Okay.
Because they do that to all Black people.
Okay.
Well, let's I'm going to specifically say Black women. They do this to all Black women. They sabotage the men and women. Mm-hmm. But I don't think she was ever going to be an A-lister. I don't know that there are many A-listers that are Black women. There's not many. They all kind of hit the wall at some point by design. But I do think, like I said, that in any entertainment arena, you have to see the opportunity in these sort of setbacks. So, during slavery, they threw them yams because that's what the pigs ate, and they made pies. You've got to make lemonade with the lemon. And so Supercell, being a low-budget production to have grossed $34 million and be top 3 globally is huge because it's an all-Black set of superheroes, which is proof of concept. The majority of superheroes in this production is like 80% male.
Well, listen, I hate to cut you short on that. Send me the link so I can watch it. Right now, I'm not really understanding until I see it. But let me just say this about Taraji P. Henson. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, right?
Uh-huh.
She did a hell of a job in that film, 2008. And I thought I said, whoa, she's on her way. She's on her way. And then somehow she wound up playing Cookie.
Okay. I didn't really care for her. I saw that movie. I didn't really think her role was standout.
Great.
I really didn't. She's not a Viola Davis, in my opinion. But thank you so much. No, she's not. Viola Davis is a phenomenal A-list actress. Taraji P. Henson is not.
Okay.
She's on the level of that woman that everybody doesn't like, the comedian. I forget her name. She's the one that's Black.
Amanda Seals?
Now.
Amanda Seals?
No, the Black lady. She has moles on her face.
Tiffany
Haddish. Haddish. I think she's on the same level as her.
Okay.
Yeah. She's not a fantastic actress.
I stand corrected, and I thank you for your input. Please send me
I'll send you the email.
Send me an email, and we'll talk soon. Great to hear from you.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Good night.
Back in the building. Star Report, late night. I'm coming to the phone lines, guys. Just sit tight. 209, sit tight. You'll be my next caller. Sit tight, 209. I have a little announcement to make here. I'm a little nervous. You guys know I'm on Pharmacist 300. I take a little shot, once every 2 weeks. Helps me work out. But my supplier ran out of Pharmacist 300 3 weeks ago. So I now just got a bottle in a Pharmacist 500. Troll babies, anybody ever taken Pharmacist 500? I'm a little concerned. Let me look in the live chat real quick. Pharmacist 500. Can anybody explain the difference? Yeah. Germ, he says 500. Yo, can somebody Google Pharmacist, S-U-S-T, 500? What's the difference between that and the 300? I got the bottle. I started shaking it. So, oh shit! I don't want to have a fucking some type of brain aneurysm and check out. I mean, niggas die every day, but can anybody help me? What is the difference between Pharmacist 300 and the 500? Now, when you inject the 300, look out. You're going to want to smash a female within less than 3 hours. So you got to be careful with the 300. Now, I don't want to, inject the 500 and then just be going crazy. 209, are you there? Good evening. 209.
Que lo que.
Randy, my nigga, was cracking, was shaking, man. It's cracking.
Nothing much, man. Nothing much, bro. So Airbnb's the topic right now with hidden cameras.
Yeah, and then let's make sure you and I discuss the new Fat Joe Remy Ma track. Did you hear it?
Nah, I ain't hear it, bro. Come on, bro. It's 2023, bro. 2024. Nobody's on the lookout for no new Fat Joe, bro.
Right. Okay. Come on. My bad. Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, I stayed in a couple Airbnbs and some cameras aren't even hidden, bro. Like I stayed in a mansion a year ago up where I stayed. They had a camera facing right at the jacuzzi and I'm lit and I just thought to myself, like, yo, bro, they gotta have so much like sex tape archive because you get loose and goosey. And then I get my roommates like the next night referencing so they got it on with some females in the jacuzzi and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Like niggas get screenshotted like recorded every other weekend in these type of places, and then I booked one with my wifey up in the mountains and same ordeal. Ninth house, they had a LLC and they even let it disclose in their booklet because they gave you a key to their country club so you can go to the golf course and whatnot and eat breakfast.
Okay.
So they even let it be known like we have the right to record on all of our premise and don't touch none of our cameras.
Wow.
We have it pointed at the jacuzzi so you don't have any sexual activities in our vicinity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The Negro I am, I disconnected that camera, bro. You don't have to call me and complain.
Now, hang on a second. As a landlord, I'm a former landlord. You should know that. But now, as a landlord in today,
slumlord.
Okay, I was a slumlord. I admit that. But in today's world, renting out Airbnbs, I can see why a landlord may say, "Listen, I've got to record the jacuzzi, as you just said, because I want to make sure that if you have herpes." Some type of chlamydia, what some of those other diseases,
STIs or STDs.
Right. That you're not possibly spreading this or putting the germs around the house. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and I'll even go one further because the estate that I stayed in, both of them, they were $1 billion estates. One of them had a golf course and a basketball course with a pool. It was a nice mansion, the one that had the camera pointed right at the jacuzzi.
Okay.
And the owner was a nice Indian family, and they made you sign a contract, kind of like the terms and agreement that we wasn't going to throw no last minute parties. Right. Of course, we're young niggas. We broke that. And they saw through their cameras like, that's for them insurance. Like, yo, bro, you guys aren't going to be disruptive of my property. Like, this is my nice estate. Right. So, not only what you're saying about the STDs, and it's like, that's a fee, nigga. You had sex in my jacuzzi. I got to drain it now and reapply water to it. That's a hefty fee depending on how many gallons of water it takes. Like I have to charge you for the service of someone having to drive out here and clean it. I'm not going to clean it. This is my.
I got to hire a bitch named Miriam to come scrub this goddamn jacuzzi because you may have little monkey bitches that are HIV positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like the one that I had with the bad shit one that was in the cabin, with my booking of it was so expensive that the cleaning fee was added on to my staying fee within the contract that I signed. That I wouldn't throw a party, that I wouldn't have no more guests than 10 people. So I feel like when you're staying in other people's estate, just like terms and conditions, when you're going on somebody else's platform, you're giving away certain rights because you are not an owner. So even if there's hidden cameras to catch you doing certain things, maybe it's just them protecting themselves. Like, yo, bro, I just want to make sure you're not committing any crimes within my vicinity. You're not raping women. You're not doing anything that could fall back on me as the homeowner.
You're not even 30 years of age, right? You're 27, I forget.
I'm 28.
28 now, okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of interesting to hear a young person like yourself say what you've just said and be understanding of a landlord.
Of course.
Understanding, yeah.
Because listen, bro, I understand how people could get in an atmosphere and not respect people's things. Like, as soon as I understood that I was in someone's home that it was the value of $1 million, I'm like, yo, bro, if I break anything or anybody within my guests break anything, yo, this is gonna fall back on me because somebody didn't only work hard. They're still in business maintaining this. Like, this isn't I'm just getting to experience this, but this is someone's existence. This is someone's values and possessions. And, you know, you have to be held accountable when you're renting the experience, you know?
Good point.
I do not. So
good point.
I feel that landlords, that's an insurance. Like, yo, bro, I asked for you not to do this, especially with smoking. A lot of these nice Airbnb say it, like, yo, bro, I don't want smoke in my house. Yeah. So they'll put cameras like, yo, bro, just to make sure you're not smoking or dealing drugs or creating an environment that I wouldn't do in my own facility. I want you to just use it as a place to sleep or whatever it is that the means.
But isn't the whole point of renting an Airbnb to go party, you know, because you don't really, most people don't want to party at their home. You don't want to bring in a bunch of scatal bitches and, you know, degenerate friends and have them, you know,
that is true,
fucking up the place. So you rent a place and say, hey, listen, okay.
And I'm going to inform you now, due to that, Airbnb now has a policy that in the summertime, you cannot rent an Airbnb up to 3 days without notifications. I cannot rent an Airbnb right now last minute because they're at risk. They're at risk of me throwing a party there. They're trying to keep that from being the norm. That was the thing that people were doing within COVID and within people scamming. People were using other people's identities to rent Airbnbs, you know? Yeah. People were going to that extent because they wasn't even using verification codes to verify who is it booking these things. So now Airbnb is trying to not have that type of reputation because a lot of people's property was destroyed within that 2019 to 2022.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, I was a young person doing, you know, partaking in renting people's property because, you know, people give you the access or the platform to live a certain way for a week or so as you rent it.
I appreciate you tapping it. Anything else you want to mention, man? I was talking briefly about a few other topics. The new Captain America teaser. Yep, speed or no?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw that they had to replace the person that Harrison Ford is playing due to his untimely demise. The guy that originally played that character died.
I thought he went to another universe. No?
No, I think he passed away. Oh. I think he passed away. I read up on it, yeah. Okay. I'll be following up on the MC. I don't want to give misinformation.
He's a reading Dominican. Yeah,
he was an older guy, so he passed away. But yes, they are starting to open up the next saga in the Marvel universe, and there will be another Avengers movie. Is going to be Secret Wars. Jonathan Majors was going to be one of the big bads in
he's out. He's out.
Yes. They were going to do the.
Do you think they're going to bring him back? Hang on. Do you think they'll bring him back?
No, they replaced them with another, with another black meat,
Yeah.
They were quick to, money doesn't stop because niggas out here losing cases.
Right.
Look at Trump, B, and I just want to leave it at that.
Okay. Good to talk to you, Randy. Salute.
Stay up, man.
Stay up, my nigga, Randy. Hi, Shamari. I got your donation. Thank you, darling. She says, I'm a sexy 60-year-old man. Thank you, baby. Jason, I got your donation. Angela Bassett, not beautiful. What's she talking about? Oh, Sunday? Did Sunday say that? I didn't catch that. Or did you assume Sunday said Angela Bassett was not beautiful? I didn't catch her say that. Guys, I want to do some type of promotion on my Squirrel Party channel. I got to figure this out for next week. But I'm going to try to stream live Sunday. It's going to rain tomorrow here again in Emerald Isle. Some type of promotion or something, because I want more comments on that page, but comments about nature, squirrels. Thank you to those of you who have been commenting. The last video, for the first 6 minutes or so, I purposely edited that so you could just listen and hear the birds and the insects. The squirrels come on the screen roughly around 6 minutes or 6 minutes and 30 seconds, something like that. But the sound is what's really, really attracting people. The sounds, of again, the birds, insects, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to stream live Sunday. Area code 346. Sit tight. You're my next caller, 346. Okay. Guys, also, please check out Skylar Saunders, youtube.com/@SkySaunders. Skylar, are you out there? Do you want to tap in before I shut this down? Skylar Saunders, great content. Skylar's going to start posting things on screen in terms of the stories that he's talking about. Very knowledgeable man. Okay. Hold on a second. 346, you there? Having a late night discussion? 346.
Late night, I'm here, sir.
How are you, man? What's cracking? What's shaking?
Man, nothing shaking, man. Just sitting back with my old lady, man. Just sitting back looking at it, bro.
Okay, I appreciate you. Where do you want to start?
Well, I was calling a comment about the Airbnb. I've been hearing about what's been going on with the Airbnb and hidden cameras and whatnot and violating, people.
Yeah, according to CNN, over the last decade, 35,000 complaints. But it's very hard to sue Airbnb, according to the investigation that they did. They reviewed more than 2,000 pages of lawsuits and police reports. When people are on their website, I've never been on the Airbnb website, they accept the terms to indemnify Airbnb from any and all wrongdoing and to release them from future lawsuits, litigation, yada, yada, yada. Any experience yourself in Airbnbs?
I have had a few experiences. Nothing as crazy as a hidden camera, but I have had, booked at Airbnb and found out like, oh, it's in a horrible neighborhood, or, it may be some, ratchet activity as far as the grounds are concerned. But those contracts are very tricky. And I don't know, the whole point of the Airbnb was to make it, more convenient, but it's almost worse than, a timeshare. It sounds like, it's not really as,
I can't see myself, excuse me, I can't see myself enjoying my time away, vacation, if you will, and being monitored. Maybe I'm just old. What do you think? Maybe I'm just old.
Maybe, but they say that the Airbnb has known about the problem for at least like a decade. That's what I'm reading about, and they've notified their shareholders, and they're playing it corporate, and it's kind of one of those things where they're aware of it, but they're not going to do anything about it. Maybe it's a young man's game. I don't know. Maybe Airbnb is for the
bingo. Hang on. What you just said speaks volumes. It's a young man's game. I'm older. Fuck that old way of thinking, Star. We on some new shit, Star. We don't mind being monitored. Niggas die every day. Niggas get monitored every day. Right? Everybody's being filmed. Up at Walmart, you're checking out Walmart, you're being filmed, right?
That's correct. We're in a facial recognition era. Everyone's in your pocket, we're in your face.
Yeah.
And privacy is now it's an illusion. What is privacy? It just raises so many questions.
What do you got to hide, old nigga? Right.
You want to come and enjoy? You want to vacate? You want to come and enjoy my,
Yeah. No more going in hotels and sniffing coke, and walking around, pulling down the blinds.
Freely.
Yeah, pulling down the blinds and barricading the doors. Them days is gone. Go ahead.
Hey, we're just even me. I'm 30, 36, 37. Okay. I'm getting a little too old for deciding where I'm staying. Not being able to control the scenario. So it's just one of those things where, man, it might be time to if you can't take yourself, then no hosting.
Yeah.
With that situation, but yeah. Good to hear from you.
I appreciate the call, man. Yes, sir. Salute. Thank you so much.
All right, brother.
Okay. Well, you coming in here, all on this sneak tip. Yeah, everything's recorded. 347. Sit tight. You're my next caller. 347. Hang on. Coming up in the Airbnb, all these sketchy bitches. Oh man, I don't want to talk too crazy, but I used to know a couple of females. We used to rent hotel rooms, and these bitches would have, the old credit card machines. Or was that going too far back? The old credit card machines where you put the paper on there, and it has a carbon copy, and you take the credit card and you. You'd be there for like 2 hours. You fill out the fucking receipt. You sign it. You forge your signature. You pull out the carbon copy. Then you take the actual one that you signed. And as you know, you're sitting there doing all that. You're sniffing a little blow, Bing, bing, bing. Blasting some freestyle music. It was all good. What the fuck? Oh, okay, Matthew, I got your donation. Matthew, we don't do $3 donations, my nigga. With all due respect, please don't come up here with anything less than a $5, man. I mean, I don't want to block you, my nigga, but you gotta put 2 more on that 3, man. If you're broke, sir, this is not the platform for you to be sending in little nigga pennies. Area code 347. Are you there? Late night edition. We're talking crazy. 3.
Yo. Salute.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you? Peace.
Good, Star. Good. Yeah, this is Carter. Carter Hates Everything platform. This is Carter. So I want to.
What's cracking?
Yeah, he was talking the Marvel stuff. So, you know, whenever you talk the comic book shit, I had to jump in on that. You know, I was listening to the show and hearing you was asking questions about the Captain America trailer, teaser trailer that dropped.
Well, let me say, hold on. Let me say first and foremost, sir, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, you know, I know you guys are very particular. You know, don't be confused in the MCU and the DC universe. Captain America, Brave New World, supposedly coming out in 2025. Yes, no?
Yeah, finally coming out. It's been pushed back at least 4 times.
Okay.
And they've done a ton of reshoots. They had a lot of trouble issues. When they did the first 2 screenings, the ratings for the screenings was very poor. So they had to do a bunch of reshoots. Actually, they scrapped the whole half of the movie. They scrapped and redid it.
Okay, so
that's what's been taking so long for the movie to drop. It was actually supposed to drop this year.
Hang on. Okay, so Anthony Mackie, he's the new Captain America. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is he the new Captain America?
For now, yes.
Okay. Is he a pole?
They introduced that.
Is he a pole smoker? Is he taking it? Is he taking it on all 4s? I heard, you know, Captain America was going to be gay. Am I wrong?
Not for this. Maybe in another space they did it. But I mean, Anthony Mackie has done a lot of suspect roles recently. Okay. Between when they finished doing Avengers Endgame and when they did his show on Marvel.
Okay.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because they did a little 8-episode show on Marvel. Okay. And that was like the in-between when they introduced him as the new Captain America.
Okay.
You know, but in between that, he did a show on Netflix where he definitely had a kissing the male role and pole smoking role on that Netflix show.
Okay, so
and that really like kind of killed me right there.
He's willing, if need be, you know, to get down on all 4s if need be.
Yeah. I don't know what's up with the homie, but yeah, because when I seen that on the Netflix show, and the thing is, it was one of those you wouldn't see it coming moments. You know what I mean? Like, because the whole time he's playing some virtual game with somebody playing as a female. Okay. So the whole time he think it's a female. And he builds this like romantic relationship with him virtually. So then they say, all right, let's meet up in person. So when they meet up in person, it was a dude, but he still had the romantic feelings.
Okay.
And yeah, they did the whole kissy face shit and all that.
Okay. So walk us through this, man, the new Captain America. I'm in no rush, man. I mean, it looks kind of interesting. Is my nigga Thanos going to be making a cameo? Thanos.
Nah, but they did introduce the Red Hulk, which that got a lot of people hyped. That was something that's supposed to be coming.
Break that down for people who don't know in layman's terms, please. The Red Hulk. What is that?
All right, the main character who the caller earlier had mentioned when Randy was talking about the actor that passed away, that was William Hurt. He played General Thaddeus Ross.
Okay. And
he played him for a very long time. They brought him back during the movie Civil War. They brought that character back. In the comic books, that character hates the Hulk, and he's been chasing the Hulk down for years.
Okay.
So he ends up taking the same gamma serum. He ends up becoming this character called the Red Hulk.
Okay.
So that's what they revealed at the end of the teaser. If you saw that part where they grabbed Captain America's shield and he threw it on the ground and there was this red character that looked like the Hulk, that was like the tease that they were throwing at they're introducing that character. But the thing is, they've rehired Harrison Ford to play the character that William Hurt was playing.
Okay.
And I was so about that. Like Harrison Ford, you know, elite actor, top tier, but he's so aged out. He looks like you could see it how aged out he is. So for him,
hang on a second, sir. I have to jump in. That's Indiana Jones, my nigga. You're gonna have to just let him go.
Yeah, but look at the last Indiana Jones star. That nigga look dead,
Hey,
bro.
man, that's Harrison Ford from Star Wars and from Blade Runner. You're gonna have to just fall back. Then hang on a second. Let's go back for a second. William Hurt was a phenomenal actor. In case the younger generation does not know, and they probably don't know, I'm as old as dust. William Hurt was in a film back in either 80 or 81 called Altered States. You ever heard of that film?
Yes, that was like a slight horror film.
Woo! Groundbreaking.
Yes, that was a classic.
Yeah,
that was definitely a classic. It's a staple in horror.
Yeah. So he was a guy, man, who was getting it in early in his career, man. I just had to say that because it wasn't, it was kind of overlooked in terms of his presence, on the screen. Go ahead. You're saying, go ahead.
Absolutely, and even to build on what you're saying, Star. William Hurt as General Thaddeus Ross. He's one of those actors that he owned that role. He will always be that character. Yeah. Like Robert Downey Jr. owning Iron Man, where no matter who you recast, he's always going to be that character. Right. You feel me? Not like your boy Terrence Howard, where they easily replaced him.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Remember, Marvel easily got him almost got him up out of here and replaced him with Don Cheadle. And nobody even gave a shit. You know what I'm saying? They kept it pushing.
Isn't it Don Cheadle? Isn't it Don Cheadle?
Don Cheadle. I'm sorry. I always call him Chili, but it's Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle or Chili but I mean, look, talk about missing the bag. Had Terrence Howard just played his position, he would have been locked in for 6 movies.
Yeah. Well,
and they would have got locked in for his own movie. They was going to do a movie just for his character. If he just played the position.
I think that
but he tried.
I think Terrence Howard, who was good guest on my show, not that anybody gives a shit. I think that he is an abstract thinker. He's not crazy. He's an abstract thinker. And he may have scared the suits at the MCU. He's self-educated. He has some college as well, but he may have scared them. Maybe he wasn't docile enough. He's not a crazy nigger. Have you ever seen him talk about physics and things like that?
Yeah, I've been watching those interviews. He's talking about the Fibonacci sequence and these multiple possibilities of reality. I mean, some of the stuff he said has been groundbreaking. The science community is giving him smoke, but I think they're only giving him smoke because of the fact that he's on to something. Or they wouldn't be resistant and giving him the smoke that they've been giving him. Yeah. But I mean, as far as him with the MCU, I still think he dropped the bag. I think Oprah got in his ear, tried to get him to stand 10 toes down on getting the same amount as Robert Downey Jr., which, he probably deserved it. But sometimes when you play a strategic, sometimes you need to just fall back a little just to get the longer bag. Look at Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
He played his position. He locked in for every movie. He has the highest, at one time he had the highest pay out of all of the MCU actors. And the longest run of the most movies that he's in. Now, he took the long-term bag.
Hang on a second. You say this world, MCU and Marvel and DC, yes?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, listen, I'm a dinosaur. Have you ever heard of Black Goliath?
Yeah. That was the counterpart to Ant-Man's character when Ant-Man did the formula and turned into Giant Man. And Black Goliath was almost like the black counterpart to that character. They actually killed him in Civil War, in the comic book version of Civil War.
He was one of the casualties. I became familiar with him in it was either 76 or 77. Black Goliath. I was just wondering what happened to him. You say they killed him off?
Yeah, in the comic book version of Civil War, he was one of the casualties.
Okay.
And the other one too, you got to look into. You ever heard of Blue Marvel?
Yeah, but wasn't that like the 90s or something? What was that? Blue Marvel.
That was I think it was like late 90s. But as far as like OP's dope black character, like on the level, he's pretty dope character. They're even trying to see if they can introduce him somewhere down the line in Marvel.
I wasn't really into. I mean, like after the 70s, I had no time for comic books and shit like that. But I mean, just going back through history. But okay, so are you a blogger? What do you do? Are you a content creator? How do you know this world of MCU and so on and so forth?
I mean, yeah, I've been a collector.
Okay.
I'm a comic book collector forever since like elementary school. I mean, I still got like maybe 300,000 books. I never got rid of collection.
Shit.
So I mean, I've been in this since. Matter of fact, Star, I sell collectibles also. I sent you that Larry Bird.
Oh, hey, okay. You sent me. Was it the Larry Bird socks?
No, it was the Larry Bird Funko Pop, the bobblehead figure.
Got you. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
I think that was when you were still in Atlanta, though. Yeah. When I sent that to you.
Well, hey, man.
But I also sell collectibles.
I appreciate
I have a collectible business.
I appreciate the call. If you have a banner, man, shoot it over to me so I can put it in the community section. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, I'm on it, Star. I got you.
Thank you, sir. Salute.
And you always look out for my dude, Craig. So, salute to you. I sent you the picture last time with me and Craig.
That's my nigga.
The email I sent you with a picture of me and Craig on the block.
That's my nigga. Salute.
Yeah, that's my dude. Known us in school.
Respect.
But yeah, salute to you always on that one, bro.
Yes, sir. Respect. Okay.
All right. Got you.